take care of it," said Cordelia, wrapping her arms around Malcolm and tangling her fingers in the dark hair across his chest. She tried to pull him back into bed, but he resisted. "No, he has the morning off. Said his ma's sick. But you know he's courting that Razor who plays bass in Canty's band. And he was a little too eager to run out last night."
"So drag him in,"
said Cordelia, hooking one leg over Malcolm's thigh. He laughed and pinched her, but stood nonetheless. She let him go and collapsed against the bedspread, giving him her best pout. "You learned that one from Macri Costa," he said. "You know it won't work on me." Pulling a threadbare cotton undershirt over his head, he added, "You're welcome to hang around here if you like. But I won't be back before curtain, almost sure." Cordelia sighed.
"You gonna ask me to run to the cleaners for your swags again?"
"Be a swan." He swooped in and kissed her cheek. "Tell Kieran to put it on the account."
"You owe him half a fortune this month already."
"He knows I'm good for it, especially once this new show's up and running." Malcolm slipped his braces over one shoulder, then the other, and hooked his jacket and hat down from the back of the bedroom door. "Later, spice cake."
"Remember to talk to Liesl,"
she shouted after him. The downstairs door slammed, rattling the bottles of hair tonic and cheap cologne on Malcolm's nightstand. Cordelia fluffed a ratty pillow and leaned back, staring at the cracked plaster ceiling. The bee did a swift trade. Malcolm only lived in such a shambles because whatever he made running the theater went right back into it. Not that she was complaining. Every stage strutter in Amberlough wanted a spot on the bee's pine boards. Malcolm paid his performers better than any place in the city, still a pittance compared to salary folk, but Cordelia patted her pockets out with dealing a little bit of tar on the side. It wasn't pretty work, but it was steady and it turned a profit. Speaking of, she was due to make a pickup from her man on the docks this afternoon. Malcolm didn't clock she had a sideline and wouldn't approve. But he wouldn't have to know, as long as she got him his swags on time in fine condition. Malcolm's evening clothes hung from the luggage rail, swaying with the motion of the trolley. Rain struck the windows. Everything smelled woolly and damp. Cordelia was running late, but the commute was so cozy she didn't mind. It had been a good afternoon. The pickup went smooth, and after, she'd swung by Tori's. He was tucked against her side now, warm and noisy, chatting on about, oh, who knew what. He talked all the rotten time. Half of it she didn't clock, but the sound was pretty. He tried to keep his cur and burr tamped down, but it always came out when he got pinned about something or, and she'd been pleased to find this out, when he was in bed. Tori tugged her coat sleeve. "Our stop." Passengers were standing in the aisle, taking down packages and purses, tying their scarves tighter and flipping their collars up against the rain. "Come on," he said, jumping down from his seat. His head was on a level with the other passengers' bellies, but the way they made space for him you'd never know. They both stepped in the gutter, and Cordelia shrieked at the cold water soaking through her shoes. Tori waved her over the curb, toward a pair of wet metal chairs under the awning of a cafe. On the corner, a Harther evangelist had set up a soapbox for his street sermon. He'd been a regular feature of Temple Street for going on 2 years now, trying to convert fallen stage folk and the punters who came on to cheer for them. Lately, he'd taken to wearing a gray and white Ospie sash. Most of the Harther congregations in town were backing the Ospies. Cordelia was fine with that. Keep the prissy people together and let them entertain themselves however they proposed to. Folk in the theater district had better things to do. Across the street from the preacher, the Bee stood tall between a wine bar and a casino, brighter than any other theater on Baldwin Street. Brilliant swirls of white bulbs, lit against the gray afternoon, made the golden molding of the marquee shine twice as bright. Richly illustrated posters glowed in their illuminated frames across the front of the building. Cordelia spied herself just to the left of the entrance, all red ringlets and black roses, her lips stung puffy by the swarm of gilt bees that spiraled around the poster border.
"Check me,"
said Cordelia, hauling down the collar of her dress.
"No marks."
Tori looked over each shoulder, conspiratorial, and then buried his face in her chest. "No marks."